Hello and good morning, Collective 904 on the clock. Um, I guess I'm just gonna make this video um, about just being in your own energy, right? And healing everything that was meant to traumatize and change your energy for the worst. So I've been here in my little getaway. It's probably the most inexpensive getaway I've. This is the most inexpensive getaway I've ever had. And I haven't really gone out and done much. I've just been very productive in like working on my businesses that I'm trying to put together, business cards, websites, and just getting really to just work out and get back into my true self, which is like very disciplined, very to myself, very quiet, and peaceful and happy. Just generally just happy. It's really hard to get me out of that. And like I've had a lot of things done to me and said about me, and like spiritually, energetically, emotional abuse, psychological, even physical abuse to try to take me out of this energy. And when I did, it was a huge deal, right? Because I'm human, and we can only, we can only take so much, and we're only going once we start setting boundaries, we're only going to put up with so much. And so now that I'm not around people who are just abusive by nature or just wanted the chance to tap into that dark side and decided, because I had all this nonsense going on about me, or, just the principle of it is just not what you do. If you got a problem with something, if I have a problem with somebody, I'm going to come settle it with you. But if you are inaccessible and you pursue me, but decide to pursue me and make me accessible to you energetically, feel entitled to my energy, then, it goes on the internet. It's just like if you know how a person gets down and you still decide to, move a certain way, then it's kind of like, it's like you get what you were looking for, I guess, right? Um, Me, I'm not somebody who pursues. I don't chase, I attract. And like even whether I pursue you or not, it's like I'm gonna like be in union with you for only high vibrational reasons, for only the best intentions. I've never been out to use anybody. I may have needed help here and there because, I had like some people with demonic attachments just on my ass for whatever reason, right? And, you know, claiming they were making money off me and all kinds of stuff, popping up at my jobs and screaming and, gossiping to people, and had a whole bunch of people, like, no matter where I was, like, these people were just, they were there, right? Doing all kinds of dark magic and stuff, trying to cloak my energy, trying to distort it so that people couldn't see me for who I was. Because before these energetic colonizers, right, I would get along with people very easily. Like I still don't have any enemies because there has to be an enemy within for people to be your enemy externally. And me, I'm just like, you're trying to be an enemy, I'm just walking away. If we fall out, I'm walking away, and I'm walking away, leaving you with some love and light, with the best attention. I didn't do that with everybody. It's probably one or two people where it's just like, like, hey, if this is what how you want to move, then it's because they really tried to. They were really like abusive, whether it be covert or overt. It was like a just so energetically abusive. Like there's no way I was, or have backed me into a wall where I just couldn't really, I didn't really, wasn't able to leave in that way. I had to fight my way out, right? So, without these demonic creatures, people who have accepted and embraced these demonic energies, right, and let them consume them to the point they're no longer in control of themselves. I used to love like doing edibles, like, and that was like while I was like in the connection with someone who actually like they introduced me to them, right? And I would like like I would like look forward to my weekly, and then it turned into an everyday thing. Almost became an addiction, but I've never really had any addictions except to peace and my connection with the Most High, that is my addiction. And it's not really addiction, it's just my way of life. You know, it's how I've always been since a child. You know, that was my friend. I would talk to the Most High, because even in my childhood, my friendships, quote unquote, somehow got sabotaged. You know, because you could tell when somebody's been in somebody's ear about you or whatever, saying stuff when your intentions are nothing but good. And they don't believe you because like that's either what they're and they want to distort your energy to be what they're used to being around, or who they actually are. And that's the wild part. And everybody has a dark side, and like we really got to start judging each other for it, because it's like sometimes the dark is needed. If you don't know the dark, then you don't know the light, and vice versa. You know, just like you're not out there just wide-eyed and bushy-tailed to the world, you know, rose-colored glasses, you know, like you don't see a gazelle out there saying, oh, I'm not going to be eaten because or I'm not going to be pursued because I'm peaceful, right? But you would think, but that's just what it has been, but they're trying to make this energy, like this predatory energy, like pursue you and then play victim when you respond or react in a way that is not favorable to them, or try to make you respond or react, because that's the chase. They want you to respond or react in a way that is favorable to them. And it's just like you're just simply trying to move on and live your life, you know. And my whole thing is, and they want you to fight for everything to the point you're exhausted, you know. Like, honestly, I don't feel like life is a fight. Life is easy. People make it hard, you know. Or they can, if you let them and don't set boundaries. Now, some people are just predatory victims. You know, they go out of their way, they overstep your boundaries, you know, they just try to shit all over your boundaries and make you out to be something that you aren't, which would be a victim of circumstances, a victim. I'm like a whole lot of things, but a victim isn't one of them, even though I've been like victimized, right? But without these people, right, I haven't picked up an edible. I have plenty of edibles just like around me, right? And plenty of options. I've never done drugs, never put a needle in my arm, never popped a pill. You know, because that's not my nature. You know, like gossip, that's not my nature. Like even as a kid, I didn't care for it. It's just like, hey, but like I have an idea, I have an invention. Hey, what if we went and did something productive or something fun to take, you know, like, and like I wouldn't even be thinking about it like that. It's just like, okay, but they're not here though. So it's just like, why is this a conversation? I understand like people vent and want to get things off their chest, but to dwell on it is dark magic, right? So without people like in my direct vicinity to carry out the spell work or cast the spells, because they need numbers, of course, for that to actually like take place and take hold. Yeah, like alcohol, a couple glasses of wine. I haven't really, you know, I still drink a little here and there. Like 2 glasses is really my max. Coffee, I was up to like 2 cups, and I'm like back down. I'm down, like I probably drank a cup and a half yesterday and like a cup and a third today, and that's starting to subside. I've been working out more, and I just like I don't need the gym and a bunch of people to work out. Like I just need the equipment I need, and you know, half the time that's just my body weight and a lot of volume. And I'm out here surrounded by or sitting right in front of the most transformative force that I can actually touch right here on this planet, which is water, a river, constant motion, constant flow. And water either crashes or it flows around it. Whatever obstacle. And that's how I've lived my life, you know, just ebb and flow in the universe. And my energy has just been so like I felt the projections coming to me like last night. It was just like I think it was more because I ate at about 6 o'clock, and usually I don't eat that time, and like my digestive system will kick me up and be like, nah, you gotta like get up and do stuff and like work this off, right? And if I just lay there, I'm just laying there awake waiting for got to pass through a certain part. I'm not sure which part of the digestive tract that is, or digestive system that is, that it needs to pass through, that will allow me to go back into a slumber. But I'll figure it out later. I'll look it up or something. But I think it was more in regards to that. But I also felt these energetic attacks of different things. So also, when I got here, um, no, before I got here, right, I went and got like a foot reflexology, and like I got the combo full body foot reflexology. My freaking shirt ripped, right? And I'm like, and then like I got home and like, I was like, that little pudge that you get like on your underwear. You kind of want to like pull at it a little bit so you can like not have that little chunk of skin, kind of chunk of fat kind of sticking out or whatever. I did that, and to my underwear, and the side of it ripped, right? And I was like, why are my clothes ripping? That's like two incidences, like very close together. And I looked it up. It said something about grief and looking at things from a different perspective, or something to that effect, right? Now, I was like, I'm not feeling any grief. I'm not, feeling anything. Like, I'm not in regret of anything. I've went through my dark night of the soul. You know, I've basically killed myself many times in this lifetime. So death is not something I'm afraid of in any way, shape, or form, because I've had so many near-death experiences. It's like, oh, okay. Like, the only thing I'm worried about right now is a bear sniffing around or a mountain lion. If I open this door and like listen to the river, that one of them was going to walk through this door, which I'm going to actually open it when it gets too hot, because I know it will. I got a space heater and a fireplace in the background, by the front door, because you know I left it off last night, and like, I just got, just woke up this morning a little chilly. Yeah, my energy, I don't feel the projections as heavy as I used to. I don't know if it was a sense of immunity, like, a sense of resistance I have developed against these attacks. Some people have tried it. I've gone out and, they'll throw out their little spell work or whatever, and it's just like, okay, whatever, keep it moving. And, and because they would try to jump timelines and travel ahead of me to places. They've been tracking my emails and everything, somehow trying to travel ahead of me to get the word out. Of course, now it's on the internet or whatever. Try to get the word out to people in the area, the people, like, or if it is on the internet, okay, cool, if they did get it off the internet. But, no, these people went far, and like, they went really, really far. And it was like, how much money are you spending? How much energy are you burning? How many of other people's energy are you wasting to do this? How many people are you manipulating to use their own energy to do this? And some people know that's just their nature. Like, a lot of the stuff I say on the internet, it was like only a few times where I was just like kind of malicious or, really defensive about when I was saying things on the internet in regards to the situation, these people, or people were coming at me on behalf of these people. Because I'm like, look, I'm into, I'd rather square up with a person than sit up and talk about them on the internet. But if you do some coward stuff, right, and then run and hide and then run and spread rumors and stuff, it's just like, okay, well, it's already public. So, it's like people already know about it. So there you go. Right. And then continue purposely avoid me, but also try to be around me. That's some next level witchcraft, right? Or have people around me saying and doing stuff, or like I said, people are their own people. I don't try to control anybody. I just flow around the bullshit, right? But it got into such a scale that, like, there was just energetic attacks coming from every aspect of my life, and people on an app that I was actually working on, they would be blocking me and giving me low scores from militia. I could do everything right as far as performance, attire, and whatever. Everything could be done right. And I was still, because somebody was sitting around talking about it, energetically, like, being energetically abusive, I would, to the point I would say something, and then they would get mad, and then I would get a bad score, or like get blocked or whatever, and that would affect my whole score overall. which affected my bag, you know. But it's kind of like I didn't ask to be a celebrity. It was never something I ever truly wished for. But I mean, I mean that's kind of what it feels like because everywhere you go, somebody knows you, good or bad. Somebody knows you, and it comes like either whether you're on a high vibration or low vibration, you know, it's gonna be good and bad. But it seemed like it was just more bad for the energy I put out into the world. I've done nothing but mostly right by people. There was only a couple people I truly like actually, you know, didn't give a fuck about. And I walked away though. That was the whole thing. It's like I didn't pursue them to do them wrong or anything like that. I just, you know, just like, all right, cool, fuck you, you know. And even the people I left on good terms, like we can probably never talk again because of how their actions, like, kind of drew that line in the sand, right? But and a lot of people want you to stay around them while they continue this behavior, their behavior. And no matter how much you talk about it, right? They want you to keep repeating yourself. They want you to keep explaining yourself to them and other people. And it's just like, so that once you change up, it's like, oh, they're hot siding. Oh, you know, they were lying the whole time. That's not really them. Oh, you see how they changed up? I'm like, yeah, like I went through all this shit to stay the same. You know, nobody goes through this to come out the same on the other end. If you did, then you know, I'm the same as far as like my energy staying pure, my intentions and my heart staying pure, you know, but I'm not afraid to tap into that darkness either. You know, and that's the duality of it. I'm not, you know, like of course you need the dark to defend the light and vice versa. The light to keep you out of the darkness, keep you out of the trouble, in the first place, to keep you out of the traps they set for you. And sometimes we walk right into them, and you know, the Most High is there to like, okay, like get your simple, get your simple self, you know, back over here, you know, where you need to be in your true energy, right? And you know, you develop, like I said, the immunity and the resistance to these attacks. And then that's why getting in your own energy and being alone is so important. Like I planned a whole week just to like really not do anything but focus on me. I wasn't even planning on really making a video except for this structure, and I'm looking at it, I'm like counting the beams and stuff. I'm like, that's what it took to make this, you know. And some good, you know, work, like as far as like molding the wood pieces or whatever. Like it's really some beautiful work, and I could really live in something like this. And you know, if you're with a close-knit group and you know, y'all don't really beef, or you know, you resolve all your issues maturely. Of course, me, I don't really want to see anybody every day. So that's one thing. It's a big open space, so maybe I'd make it bigger and add like a room or something closed off to where I can have my privacy and be in my own energy there. Or just this by itself, or just have a family and have separate things to do this, and then maybe a family room. Just ideas, but yeah, I have inventions that I'm thinking of to make travel life easier and better, especially if you like to work out, because traveling and working out, for me, sometimes kind of they just don't go, because the traveling is time consuming. And you know, like as far as gym memberships, they have 24-hour fitness, but me being who I am, I don't necessarily need a gym. Like there's some things I need from the gym, like the weights, so you can't really do that. And I'm just trying to find ways of resistance that simulate the weights, and inventions that, you know, even if you don't have the weight, if you have the, you know, mostly a bar system really. But anyways, I was getting energetically attacked there too, but that's like being, and then, you know, I received praise from people who were just impressed with my workout, because I'm a pretty exceptionally strong female, you know, for my stature. Like I'm not like super swole, but I am muscular. But I was, you know, like there was always some dude there to talk loudly over me, and that was another form of energetic attack. It tried to cloak my energy. You know, they would find like, you know, the most POS scumbag to come in there and just like unabashedly like talk that shit basically in the gym instead of working out. And if the work they did, I feel like if you're not if you could talk, you're not working out hard enough. Like there's no way like you're working out hard enough and you're focused on another person way across the gym to the point they can actually hear you and feel you energetically. And like, and then be competing at that. I'm like, for if a man competes with a woman and a woman competes with a man, it's automatic loss. Either way it goes. It's like there's no competition because there's certain things and aspects that we bring to the table. Like women, some women they actually can, but like if that dude did the work, like they were doing the same amount of work, their muscles develop differently. And a woman, like energetically, her endurance is better, and mentally and emotionally there's just like a level of intelligence that that can be real cutthroat, or it can be real healing. And that explains like the connection with the Most High, and why like guys seem to be more disconnected from it, or they could be very good at, or maybe it's something that is in disguise that we as females don't see, right? Because I mean, as far as I see it, like they have less worries and less cares. But now it's just like they're starting to get more into their self-care and like, impressing females, but it's just like they're neglecting mental health, and that's just what I'm seeing, right? I'm still making the gene the that too, the dating pool very slim pickings, because it's just like mental health is part of your physical health. It's like I don't care how good you look on the outside, if your mental health isn't up to par. If you are a type of person who can't be alone long enough with yourself, that is a mental health issue. If you can't spend like a day just with yourself, with your energy, with your thoughts, I would say a week. And I would, like I'm just on a challenge to keep extending my time by myself, of course, until I meet my like, DM, wherever he is, right? And that is part, that's also part of the journey, right? You're both working on yourself to the point you come in a union, and you're both spiritually, emotionally, psychologically adept to complement each other, right? And make the right type of compromise and compensate, compromise for each other, or just be that energetic match, right? For each other, and the growing on the same plane, maybe for a long time, or maybe forever, or maybe like the whole thing is like people think soulmates are forever. It's like some soulmate contract, it's just what it is. It's a contract. Contracts come to an end, right? And it could be, you can bow out gracefully, or you can go kicking and screaming, just like, and depending on where you are in your growth and ascension, right, you may have to downgrade on contract. But if you're like in a continuous level of growth, then you start signing new contracts. But if you're on a different plane, maybe you have to start again from the low level contracts, where it's like, oh no, what is this? Like each lifetime, like what is this? This is not and you got to work your way back up again, as you experience like different planes and dimensions and things like that. At least I think, that's my perspective on how it goes. And that's what I've been working on like my entire life, in my own energy. Like I've gladly faced my karma, my hardships, my hardships, and like everything I've gone through. I've gladly faced that, pretty much by me and the Most High, just on the battlefield. Well, not even on the battlefield, just getting through it, man. Just like understanding, like, okay, maybe, okay, this is karma, or this is a lesson I need to learn to get to the next level, and just like gaining an understanding of the purpose, the objective, right? Because every lesson has an objective. What is the objective? And then what is the game plan? What is the strategy? What are the obstacles? And people, think, oh, like you're gonna make a plan, it's just gonna go smoothly. A lot of the times the reality of it, no. It's just like we make plans and God laughs. It's I'm pretty sure I said this in a couple videos. It was like a saying as God said, "You will find man will find obedient women in all corners of the earth," and then made the earth round. That yeah, hilarious, actually hilarious, and just like obedient, huh? Like not submissive, just obedient. But obedient to who though? You know what I mean? Like there's a there's a lot of layers to that one. Like men and women can be submissive to each other, but obedience is just like, first of all, if like you're gonna even get close to obedience from another person, you need to, they need to, it needs to be proven that you can lead them somewhere, but with, like, but to something 3D. Like the land of milk and honey, people think it's just like, you know, on the physical. No, it's a mind. It's a state of mind. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. It's just like you can be in heaven and really just know how to transmute energy, even the energy that gets thrown at you, like in understanding what's being thrown at you and what's going on around you or internally and why you feel this way. Why was this a trigger? And transmute that energy for yourself and understand why without playing the blame game, on both sides. That's like the best way you can transmute energy to me is just understanding and learning the lesson and moving on from it. And the next time you recognize it, it's just like, oh, it's not so much of a trigger anymore. And that's that's really been my whole life. It's just like, okay, what can I learn from this? It's basically what it is. Okay, karma, what can I learn from it? I know not to do it anymore, but what was the spiritual ramification of what I said or did, right? Because I've said some wild shit before on and off the internet. It's just like to the point where like people will be laughing. It will be some, like, maybe at me, maybe with me, and it will be to the point where I would catch myself in the middle of like a rant or something, and I would be like, oh shit, like it like say something funny. It was just undeniably just outlandish. And like I repented for everything that was like harmful to those who didn't deserve it, right? And I don't know if I should be apologizing to people who are actually going out of their way to energetically and spiritually attack me. Like I don't see myself doing that, like, ever. Like me walking away is the apology, right? It's not even the apology, it's this the grace, right? Because I maintain grace, like, intentionally, unintentionally. That's just who I am, right? And whatever I do, that's good or bad, right? And good or bad, I'm rooting for you. It's just like, I hope you go heal, just like, and I'm going to go heal from whatever, whether I was triggered or whether I was like, there's some level of healing that is needed from it, because it's just like for you to walk away from it and set a boundary for it. Like, why was that boundary needed to be set? Because it was a trigger of some sort that made it so intolerable that you can't be around that person and that energy, like, ever again. You have made up your mind that that is not something that you want around you, that is abusive or a contamination to your greatest and highest good and purpose. It's hazardous, right? It's caustic to your greatest. And then the situation I was in, that was an extremely insidious and caustic situation. Like, I know I've done and said some things, but it's just like, it was never deserving of that, yeah. And that's been like life though for me. It's just like, I think you go through this journey in life, like, if you've accepted that journey, right? If you accepted that mission to go through the things like your sun sign, right? Like, you go through all the different houses, all the different signs that are in your chart, on the opposite degree, just go through a mirror image of yourself, but the dark side, right? And that's through a series of people, all kinds of people, right? experience this, and what is attracted you. You attracted through to get through this mystery. You're gonna attract the mirror image of yourself, but on the dark spectrum. And you got to heal from all the darkest aspects for yourself and get towards your north node. At least that's how I'm seeing. That's the message I'm getting right now. So I'm like looking at this dome right now, looking at the trees and the sun, and it's just beautiful. And you got to transmute your own energy that is being reflected to you through a lot of the times other people, right? And a lot of and then you meet like basically your arch nemesis in life in this journey, which would more than likely be your sun sign, who may practice in the dark arts. At least that's what happened on my part. Who would be completely ignorant to, or not ignorant or abusive. Like there's two more spectrums that you get. Those are two wide spectrums that you could think about. You're either ignorant, completely ignorant, or completely abusive and manipulative as to what that does to a person energetically, spiritually, emotionally, so on and so forth. And willful ignorance is the same as abuse. Like you just don't even care to learn. You don't even care because it's just like, and you put this person through the stuff to the point that they are forced to learn about what you're doing to them, on the dark arts, the dark spectrum, and the physical. And that's they say lessons are learned through pain, and they were not lying. Like, so the closest thing I've ever heard to the truth in my life. Well, not the closest thing, but you know what I mean. But the most resonance. Like a lot of my lessons were learned through things that were triggering. I want to say triggering. They weren't necessary because I'm like, okay, it's part of life. Like you don't always get your way. Rejection is a part of life. Rejection is protection as well. It's just like, no, you don't get to go this way because it's either not for you or it's not for you right now. And like downplaying people, like I always want to bring out the best for people. I always want to look for the best in people, but when all people are showing me, and giving me as their ass to kiss, then it's just kind of like, well, now I don't see you at all. I don't want it. Like I see the darkness in you, but it's just like that song from Toy Story. You got a friend in me. Like until you cross me, then you don't exist to me. Like you just don't exist. I'm not gonna come for you, unless do not pursue me either. Like this is where we end. This is where I walk away. This is where I would like for you to walk away, because I'm not gonna particular. But then people get triggered when you simply just walk away. And it's like, did you not get the closure that you needed when you decided to do me dirty like that, right? When you decided to, you did what you did, and you chose to entertain a frequency that is like that I would not entertain when it came to you. And because people do things demonically to make you feel some type of way, just like you do good things for people for them to feel some type of way. But some people do good things for demonic reasons, right? And they do things to make you feel codependent, make you feel like you need them, their energy, and like you can't simply walk away and continue on your journey, because they are definitely not a part of your journey further than that. Right? And then they give you all kinds of label. Or you're a user, you're an abuser, you're this, you're that, you're the third. And that would be their energy had they been blessed with a gift like that, like a thank you and a pay it forward, and maybe we'll meet again and I could repay the same favor to you, because some people you're just always saving their ass, and that's just what you guys' purposes are in each other's life. It's just what it is. You're just always, you're always kind of not even saving there. You're just there to offer a helping hand. And when I've helped people, it's just been like, or given some advice, or my time, my energy, which I don't play about, right? I don't play about my time. One thing I'm not gonna let somebody do is waste my time. Once I feel like my time's being wasted, that's when that sword comes out. You're done. You're out of here, right? Whatever that, or that noun, person, place, or thing is like no, I'm not entertaining it anymore. I give it no more energy. I send it away with love and light, and that's it. I mean, because I'm not gonna sit here and beef with anybody. I'm gonna say what I need to say. Probably take about 5 to 10 minutes doing it, and then move on. Like whatever you have to say, I would hope that you would come and try to have a conversation about it. But then it gets to a point where the conversation is evaded for so long that it's the point of no return, and that goes for everybody, you know. Because I'm still like, I'm trying not to live in the past, but I'm also trying to recover like some of the memories that were lost in my past, because everything that I've been through a lot of traumatic stuff. So when trauma happens, right, unbeknownst to us, we forget things, you know, when we get traumatized, right? And sometimes we forget the way that we may have traumatized others by certain words or actions that we had, and that with us being in survival or just trying to protect ourselves on the physical, spiritual, and the energetic levels. And they say hurt people, but it's not that. It's yeah, people are gonna bring pain, but it's like people who unhealed people actually try to hurt people. I've never really tried to hurt anybody, right? Like I would spit, you know, what I would read people for filth. But as far as like really truly wanting to hurt somebody to the point you could feel hatred off it, like I'll get the fuck away from you. Like first before I do any of that. And if I ever pursued anybody on that level, like I'm the type of person, like, you know, that person had it coming. Like it's just on point, you know. Like I only mirror back to you on a negative aspect the energy that you tried to send to me, you know. So it's just like that's why the hatred grows, because it's just like they really hate themselves, and they expect you to keep doing good by them when they keep sending evil to you, and you send a little bit of that back and they can't take it. Why dish out what you can't take? You know, all I ever wanted was good and peace in my life. And that's all I ever wanted. And then I've, you know, ran into people who made me fight for my peace, right? And it's no holds barred to that, you know. Like I'll walk away, but you pursue me, like it's gonna be all kinds of judgment calls. It's gonna be all kinds of darkness, like just on your ass. You know, it might take a while to circle back, but it's just like I'm gonna let you finish, right? I'm gonna let you, you know, do what you do, say what you say. You know, like okay, you done? Oh, okay, no, cool. You know, you still been on that bad karma? Okay, I'm not pursuing you, right? I'm not bothering you. I'm not looking on your page. That's not what I do. I got better shit to do than to be looking on people's pages trying to find out if they're talking shit about me or not. I don't care, bro. Like, I don't, like, look where I am right now, you know, on the cheap. Like, the damn near free. As a matter of fact, it's getting hot in here. Let me go open, this door so I can hear the river. um, yeah, so where I am right now on the energetic and physical spiritual blessing, like I'd open the door this morning. I was just like, I just took the energy in from the flowing river, hearing the birds outside, and just it's a whole vibe right now. And it's cold outside. It's probably like it's 47 degrees, I think. Let me see. I don't know if it picked up the location or not. No, it feels more like 20 something degrees. I'm gonna go with 20. Just off the simple fact it does not feel like 40. Like it just, I opened the door, it's hella, the chill just came right on in, you know. But it's a good balance with the space heater by the door and the fireplace. Like I'm straight cooling right now. Made a nice breakfast. I made myself a breakfast burrito this morning. But yeah, And like the whole thing is like me and my energy, it does, you know, like when you have a positive high vibrational energy, you're going to trigger people. You're going to trigger the darkness in people, the darkness that people have not faced within themselves. And you know, that's just one of the things I learned to accept, because it's just like I'll say something on the internet and I'll see somebody coming at me in a negative aspect about an internet. My intention is to heal and to help people see, you know, what was done to what was done throughout history, right? Energetically, and like what it actually was. So some people don't know that's what they're doing. Like I was ignorant to that at one point in time, but I was never really somebody out to harm anybody out there just trying to trash talk anybody, be around and even be around people who did that type of shit. That just wasn't ever my circle. And now my circle is really just me. Like I was always like not down for the bullshit. I was always somebody who you know, purposely avoided. I was very avoidant of the darkness until I had to face my own, which I did, because I was like, I was triggered to the point that it brought out darkness. So I'm like, I gotta face this, because I'm like, my guilty conscience is just like, it eats, man. Like when I do something wrong, that motherfucker's ready. They're ready to eat the demon, right? It's just like, nah, we about to feast off this shit, right? And then I gotta sit alone and face my own. I went through some small, light shadow work, but I'm like, it's not as heavy as the shadow work I had already done. It's just like some light level stuff. It's just like, oh, you know, because right now, you know, I travel and work. I don't have a particular residence, right? I have a home base. I can't say I'm necessarily homeless, because anywhere I go is home. Like my heart is my home, my purity. You know, like no matter where I am, I'm thinking God is my home. You know, the universe is my home. Really, anywhere can be home when you walk with God. It's just like, I don't know, you know, it's I've been homeless, sleeping in a storage unit and in my car homeless, in the parking lot of a Walmart, man. Like I've been that kind of homeless shelter homeless. Never slept in a homeless shelter, but you know, I would have qualified for that, right? But I didn't want to take anybody else's spot who didn't even have the car to sleep in, for one thing. And it was a thing of pride too, but there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's just like the first step to rebuilding. Once you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. And I guess that's part of why I live my life as a minimalist, because I'm like, I'm also nomadic because I like to travel. So I'm just like, I'm never even home in one spot long enough to really need something stationary like that, you know, like you know, cabins, cottages, yurts, tiny homes and stuff like that, you know, on the cheap. I'm or on the free. Like these are all blessings to me. Like blessings in the wealth aren't like the mansion and the Bugattis and stuff. Like that's not wealth. That's burden. Like if you're a homebody, that's your wealth. You know, your home is your wealth. You know, if you're always like, it's always a place for you to go back to, so you can find your zen. Or if you have zen within, then you know you can be anywhere, and you can find damn near and have, you know, that you can get by yourself and get in your own energy, right? Even in your car, you could sit in your car and be completely encompassed in your own little bubble of energy, and be totally at peace and happy. You know, there are comforts, there are creature comforts. You know, like I like to cook, I love to cook. I love to work out. You know, that's why I think of inventions for working out. Like that's been prominent in my mind. And mechanical tools, right? Like, because I was a mechanic, and being able to fix your own transportation is vital, because then all you have to pay for is parts. You got to pay in time and like maybe the strain on the body, but if you're in shape, there's not so much of a strain now, is it? So you invest in yourself to take away from your strain. And like I like living minimalistic, but I also like cool gadgets and stuff. Well, not even cool, but you know, things that help me live more minimalistically. And you know, some of that has caused me to be a hoarder, because as they come out with new inventions, then you know the old things get transitioned out, and then you're carrying dead energy. Well, not dead. There's no such thing as dead. Dead energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't die or lie. But you know, you're carrying burdens now, right? Because this is energy you no longer need. So then it's just like, okay, the energy has also depreciated in value, because it's not a need anymore. It's not something that you will be checking for anymore. That would be beneficial to your energetic space, your bubble, right? Your aura, your energetic field. You don't need anymore, so you have to get rid of it, and that includes people. And it, like you see, it seems cold and robotic, systemic, but it's like it's just the circle of life, man. Like it's a cold world, no blankets, and like watching The Lion King, which I actually still cry when I see that movie as well. And Mufasa goes, it's just like that's when I lose it. Can't do it. Still, but that's the circle of life. Like things have to be killed off, discarded, thrown in that. Like people die. You know, uh, their energy dies within your energy field to the point where it's just like neither one of you see a purpose. But if one person, has unresolved issues and combined with letting a demonic energy consume them, right? Then, that's when you have a karmic cycle. Someone who simply will not heal from their triggers or wounds, um, and will not accept an ending in separation from an energy that they became codependent on and kept them afloat. And some of it just needs to go, man. It just needs to a lot of people gotta get left for you to get right with God, man. It's just like some of it's painful. Someone was like, man, that really did hurt. And someone was just like, yeah, I see why. Yeah. Like you weren't that close anyway. They were just kind of like something around for kind of like a comfort blanket, or like a cozy pair of socks or something like that you don't really wear. They're just there for convenience, for just in case I need you, but you never did. So now it's just a burden. Now it's just dead weight. Now it's just something that's taking up your energy and attracting energies that you are outgrowing, and it will then become a lower frequency energy that will eventually become a burden, right? And you got to get rid of it. It's just like, why is this still here? Oh man, maybe I might need it in the future. 10 years pass. Oh, I might still need this. And that's why I'm so like I'm so gung ho on anything I obtained, well, with that person, right? Or like, and that's why I'm so slow to really just get into real connections, because it's just like being nomadic and energetically, spiritually, physically, right? I move on, and that's it. That's it for me. I just move on, and I get rid of anything that connected us energetically, right? I'm not gonna say things are obtained with that person, but if any, like say you get a car, you do it on your own, and you didn't need that person, that you could carry with you, and plus it's a necessity. You need that item, but eventually you do lose that, because it depreciates in value, because of, you know, it no longer holds the energy as when you first bought it. As you drive it more, you go on more adventures and mishaps and things like that. You go, and then you start getting to the repairs, and that's a dying energy. Um, and the engine might start wearing out, and then it's just like it becomes too costly, and that's a dying energy. That's a depreciation in value and energy. And that's kind of how it, that's how energy works, right? When you're constantly growing, but it's either you can let your energy deplete and depreciate with that dying energy, or you can, separate. And sometimes it's just not convenient. Sometimes it's just painful. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it works for you right now. It's just like it's extremely uncomfortable, and you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, to the point that discomfort is comfort, but not to the point that is the only way that you are comfortable. Maybe I said a lot. Maybe I didn't say anything at all. But letting go is just part of it, man. It's just like you can't hold on to, oh, he did this, she did this, and I never have been that tight, but there have been things that's just like, it'll simmer for a little bit. It's just like, okay, moving on. It happened. What did you do about it? What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna move on. I don't like really need to seek revenge because I know how the Most High moves on my behalf. I know how my angels, spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, the universe moves for me. You don't let it go, it holds you back. You miss out on your future blessings. And they say the best revenge is doing better. You know, it's just like I'm not doing this for revenge. I actually love this shit. I love travel. I love cooking. You know, like I actually brought food from home with me to keep it as cheap as possible. And I still ended up having to buy food. Um, but I should have, like, I keep everything in like mason jars. You know, basically to keep you know, for space, freshness. And now, you know, looking at it, I keep it for travel. I had some chopped onions and garlic in my little mini mason jars and stuff, and they have served a good use to me. Next time it'll be like mustard and ketchup because I made a hamburger and I didn't have that and I wasn't about to go buy it. Um, but yeah, call me cheap. I don't, you know, but it's just like I'm willing to like carry a separate bag for that, just to not have to, you know, go out and buy that stuff, you know, because I'm just like, I have it at home. It will be sitting at home wasting and spoiling in the fridge or like getting freezer burned. So why not? It's just like, even though it's only a week, but some of the things I carry with me would be things that would spoil, or like condiments and like stuff that I would need to, I use on a regular basis. Like I'm trying to figure out how to transport spice racks with me because they had no spices here. But anyway, you know, I don't think that is a burden. You know, it's just kind of like I want a spice rack. I like playing with different seasoning and watching the taste and the food transform. That's why saute is my favorite method of cooking, and grilling. Grilling is another one. All of it, I love all of it, but I have my favorites, you know. And you know, like you gotta shake the ice off. Like if you're cooking fish, you know, you gotta get rid of the ice that was keeping it preserved to turn it into nutrients and energy for you. And I guess I don't know, maybe I might be saying too much, but yeah, like me generally, I'm just, if you got a problem with me, it's because you came looking for problems, you know, and you probably still won't find any because I'm not about to entertain your bullshit. And I'm gonna keep it moving. You know, I might say or I might react. You know, if you are able to get that out of me, but just know whatever you got out of me, you had to work for it, or there had to be a buildup of some sort to do that. And that's what they worked on for over a freaking decade, man. For what? Could be money, could be on some, oh, you were with my dude or something, but I'm not the braggadocious type to run out and do that. Um, and I'm sorry that you met, or, you know, like if that was the case, I'm sorry that you ran into somebody that will play you like that. Like, I don't, you know, it's just, you know, because everybody has free will, you know, everybody has free will. And, you know, like everybody, I believe, you know, has been in more than one relationship, or maybe some with just one relationship. Everybody's been cheated on, everybody's been played. You know, you can get in your ego all you want to say, oh, nobody did this and that, but it's happened to everybody who has been out there in the dating world and, you know, ever taken somebody seriously that they shouldn't have taken seriously. It happens, man. And if you decided to stick around, um, especially if they are somebody who does that habitually, and you know, you didn't move on, then I'm sorry, that's your bad, right? It's just like any situation, you are never truly stuck unless you choose to be stuck, unless you choose to, you know, be that stick in the mud, you know. Then you're just in quicksand, and that's not on somebody else. You know, if they aren't open themselves to other energies and open your relationship up to relationship. I said relationship. That might be it. But relationship up, or whatever connection you had to other energies and other physicalities, then, you know, then, and you decide to stay, you know, just, and or that you didn't set a strong enough boundary, You know, I understand why people ask like, "What is this?" I'm like, if I'm rocking with you, in the physically intimate matter, that's gonna be it. Like that's gonna be the only person I'm rocking with. But that's not. I forget that not everybody rolls that way, right? Some people are just like, I gotta get this, and then I gotta Baskin Robbins this shit, all at once. Just like see how many I can get, see how many people I can have wrapped around my finger, and I don't get it. That's a lot of energy and time for people you may not even like. You just want to play a damn game. But I'm just like, look, man, like I got enough energy for me and possibly one other person, and then if I have another kid or kids, I have energy for my family. But I'm stingy as hell about my energy, like external to anything directly connected to me. That could be like, I'm in direct connections. I'm talking about my job, my hobbies, or my work, my hobbies, my passions. If I get a significant other, if I have my child that I have now, if I have any more children, that will be what my energy is directed to. But for anything else other than that, and their hobbies, their passions, like I'm all on board. It's all or nothing for me on that. Because just no. Like, everything else external kind of brings unnecessary drama and hardship and other people's problems that you don't really want to be a part of, and their traumas that they refuse to heal from, their stubbornness, and like, just it's just a no for me. I mean, maybe get some friends here and there if I get some real ones. I met some real ones recently, or at least I feel like I did, and I don't know, you know, I don't know where they'll go. I'm not. Usually, the real ones are for me, are the people who don't need to be in constant contact with you. It's like, hey, like, we ain't talked in a while. Life is like, how has life been life and for you, stuff like that. Like I'm not somebody that needs a whole hell of a lot of attention. I just don't. It's just like I've been like solo dolo most of my life, apart from my child. You know, and he lives with he's grown now. Shit, he's trying to find his own little, his own way in life and stuff like that. And I'm just here to provide guidance. And you know, it's kind of what parenting is. It's just kind of like you let them go and you steer them in the right direction so they don't hurt themselves too badly. And I'm trying to offer them the guidance I didn't have, man. Like I didn't get any of this advice. Like I didn't even get advice on how to fill out a job application. I didn't get advice on how to like make my own resume, my first resume, and not. I didn't get advice on hygiene. I didn't get advice on anything that wasn't self-destructive. So I'm just, like it's my first time, and maybe it could be my last time. I'm not leaving it really up to me. It's just like whatever the Most High wants for me, that's what it'll be. But that's just whether you're here solo or you have a family to raise. That's what life is. It's just about guidance and where you get that guidance from. My guidance has always been from the Most High. I haven't always listened. I did go, try to go my own path, and you know, the Most High was just like, all right, like, go out there, go, put that spiritual jaw to the test. My jaw definitely, I got rocked a few times, man. Physically and spiritually, I got rocked a few times. Not down and out, just rocked. And just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna try a different method. I'm gonna go a different way about it, which worked out. I'm not a hard-headed person, really. I can be stubborn, but I ain't hard-headed, man. And usually my stubbornness does pay off because I'm a very resilient person, very energetic, very active person. But I can also be very calm, peaceful. People find it, typically find it easy to relax in my energy unless they're being run by demons or something. I can have a conversation about it. There's not really going to be much I'm willing to do about it outside of you try to help yourself. Like the more you try to help yourself, the more I'm willing to ride for you, man. The more I'm willing to try to help you. But I'll help you, but I'm not about to carry anybody. Just no. There's no telling what other people, what burdens, what demons they have entertained in the past. um, and what demons and energies they're entertaining now that might be detrimental to me and my path. You know, I can only help so far, right? Oh, my Sudoku game. And yeah, I am a problem solver. That's just my nature too, which has also helped me avoid a lot of drama and bullshit. And what is life also but solving problems, solving your own problems. But some people, they want to solve everybody else's problem. You can't, just like. And I had a hero complex at one point in time, you know, which got me in a lot of financial trouble, trying to save people. And sometimes you just gotta leave it to the Most High, you know, like, and so even in your own life, you gotta give it to the Most High. And sometimes, you try to control your emotions too. You can't really do that. You just gotta get by yourself. Like, you just deal with it, and you give that up to the Most High too, and ask for healing and forgiveness for whatever you may or may not have done to cause this trauma that you need healing from, that is so painful that you don't even know how to sort through the process that you need to sort through. And all you can do is cry and heal from it. And crying is a sense of healing. It's not weak. I'll tell you that. It is not weak. Like, because you ever seen people so mad they want to cry. That's actually a source of power. Like a Dragon Ball Z, it's like they, the energy is just too much. It's a transformative energy. Like they, do all that screaming for like 2 episodes, trying to power up, and then they wreck shop, right? They go out and they defeat the demon that came to basically disrupt the balance of the earth. And I guess I'll leave it at that. I think it's a good note to leave it on like that. I'm pretty good with analogies too. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Until next time, next video. Thank you for watching Soul Measure. Love you guys. Everybody, take care. Enjoy your life, man. Do something new. Do something that transmutes your energy. Get by yourself for at least an hour a day, 2 hours. All right, just try to start with 2 hours if you can. Just try to get, at least an hour a day, even if it's just like a lunch break or something. Just get some time to yourself, man, and really find yourself. Until next time, love you guys. Take care. I'm gonna finish out the rest of the trip. This getaway, I'm going to, and I may do another video, I may not. I'm real sporadic about this. It's just whenever my energy calls for it. When the Most High just said, look, just do it, right? So until next time, thank you for watching Soul Measure. I'm going to post links to my websites and my other YouTube channels. One is a workout channel, and another one's going to be a travel channel. I think I'll just start doing that, right? Yeah, drink plenty of water too. And remember, drink water and get in your own energy. Until next time, take care.